Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video by the Last Walks blog. Tonight we preview Charlton Athletic away from home, who we play tomorrow afternoon in what is a massive game in Gillingham season. One more win probably all but secures Gillingham's safety, and hopefully we can go and get it at our local rivals and down at the valley. 2,500 Gills fans travelling in what is simply fantastic support. Tonight we're going to look at our rivals in Charlton. They're ones to watch. I'm going to give you my predicted 11. We're going to talk a bit about the main man on Friday, Cody McDonald, and then we're going to finish off with your Twitter questions. So looking on to tomorrow then, Charlton Athletic, who we face down at the Valley at 3 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. They're ones to watch. I was just looking at their kind of top goal scorers, their most assists. Noticed that one of them, who's really kind of a coaching role now in Johnny Jackson, and the other one's gone off to Everton in Adamolo Lookman. But the two that Gillingham have to watch tomorrow are Josh McGuinness, who's got bundles of pace, and Ricky Holmes. Josh McGuinness on 8 goals for the season, Ricky Holmes hitting 10, the same as Cody McDonald. So yeah, they're the real ones that we've got to watch down at the Valley. Defensively, they've been pretty much the same as Gillingham. They haven't scored many while leaking at the other end. And going into tomorrow's game, both sides have got pretty much the same record in the last 6 games. Both sides have lost 3, drawn. I think it is. Lost 3, drawn 2 and 1-1 in the last 6 games. So it is pretty much even going into tomorrow's game. Charlton are all but safe, really. They're on 51 points, and they would be very, very unfortunate to go down on that margin. Us, on the other hand, need one more win after the fantastic win over Bristol Rovers on Friday afternoon. 3 points, 52 points, pretty much all but secure safety for Gillingham for another season. And what better way to, like I said, what better way to go and secure that safety down at the Valley tomorrow afternoon. Obviously, for us, we've got our main man back in Bradley Dack, not suspended anymore after the red card at MK Dons. I'm sure he'll be chomping at the bit. Going back to the club that released him at a young age, and fresh after not being in and around the team for the last 2 games, and will want to secure his side safety. And you could tell for large parts on Friday afternoon, he was that man that real spark that Gills missed. Luckily, Cody took it upon himself not to settle for a point on Friday afternoon and thought, no, I'm going to go for all 3 and did it all by himself. But yeah, Bradley Dack is back within contention, and of course he should walk straight back into this Gillingham side tomorrow afternoon down at the Valley. So yeah, we're going to just talk about, obviously, that man, Cody McDonald then. I mean, after the plaudits that he's got Friday afternoon, Josh said on his fan cam that let's build him a statue. I mean, Josh is not wrong, to be honest. The guy is an absolute legend, and important goal on Friday. And to be honest, looking back on his goals that he scored for the Gills, those 2 are probably his most important in the Gillingham shirt. He might well have secured his side safety for another season. And just on the subject of Cody, a lot of people would say, what would you do with him? He's coming towards that end of his career now. I'd still give the guy a 2-year deal. He's obviously out of contract this summer. you've got to give the man a 2-year deal. He's still doing it at League One level. He's still, like I said on my matchday experience, whenever you need a guy to deliver at the biggest of occasions, he's always that go-to guy that you look to, that Gills fans look to, and he always seems to come up with the goods. And on Friday afternoon, he certainly did that. I mean, what a player he's been for the 4 or 5 years over a period of time that he's been at the club. Obviously, he's had a little bit of time away, but he's come back. It just goes to show, looking at his career appearances and where he scored goals. He only ever seems to really hit it off in a Gillingham shirt, and I think that's where his home's at the Priestfield Stadium. I would certainly give the man a 2-year deal. To be honest, I would try and tie him down so he finishes his career at Gillingham Football Club. And whether he wants to then go on and be a coach is obviously another matter. Depends whether he wants to go down that route. But he's the sort of guy that you need in and around the football club. Certainly times like we've had. We all thought a week ago that we were destined for the drop. And Cody's come pulled it out of the bag Friday afternoon. And I mean, you have to give. I mean, me and Reese and Josh have said it on the podcast often enough about people like Jake Hessenthaler that seem to have a lifetime contract at the Priestfield Stadium. Where, to be honest, looking at it, have they made as big a contribution as Cody McDonald? And I don't get why year after year we have to. It comes to the summer where Cody's out of contract, and there seems to be a question: do you, don't you? Well, I mean, if you look at the years that we've had players, name a better player that in Cody's time. Name a better player that's delivered when it's mattered, plays for the badge, is a real leader, loves the club, and even though it might not go for him, he always seems to put himself first rather than his goal scoring or his goal scoring record first. And for me, that's why I said on Saturday afternoon he was my player of the season, and no doubt he definitely deserves a 2-year deal at Gillingham Football Club at the end of the season. So I'm gonna move on to my predicted 11 then, and I think I might go for a couple of changes from Friday afternoon. So this is my predicted 11 for tomorrow afternoon at the Valley. I'm going to go with Thomas Holy in goal. Did pretty well on Friday afternoon. I mean, it was a couple of times that he accidentally kicked it towards a Bristol Rovers player, but commanding in his box, did pretty well. Caught a couple when we really needed him to. And obviously set up Cody's first with that fantastic long kick that Cody superbly brought down and smashed it into the top corner. Then I'm probably going to go with keeping to a back three. I'm going to go with Ryan Jackson. I thought Jackson was pretty good on Friday afternoon. Didn't put a foot wrong. Cleared when he had to, got forward when he had to. I was really impressed with him first half when he took the ball out of defence and tried to get the attack moving. So yeah, I'm going to keep with Jackson. Keeping there as well, Max Aimer. Thought he had one of his better games on Friday afternoon. Cleared when he had to, no mucking about. And yeah, it was better. It was better from Max. Looked a lot more assured than he did in recent weeks. So yeah, Max Aimer. And then also I'm going to keep with Deji. Like Reece said on the fan cam, apart from the penalty, he didn't do much wrong. In fairness, he was really strong in tackles, moved people off the ball, looked assured. And like Reece said, apart from that mistake that he gave the penalty away, he looked pretty solid in that back three. This is where I'm going to make the change. I'm not going to have Harry Cornick. I'm going to go for Parker. That might surprise some Gills fans. However, Parker, I was speaking to Tom on Friday afternoon, and he did say Josh Parker played right wing back in his QPR days. So he has got experience of playing out there, and I'm wondering, that was the decision behind Eddie Pennock bringing him on at right wing back. Nothing really against Cornick. I just thought that he looked quite dodgy defensively on Friday afternoon. And I'm thinking, away from home, where the home side might come at Gills a little bit, I would rather have Parker in that situation with a bit more of an experienced head that knows how to kind of play there. So I'll go with Parker in that position. Then in my midfield three, I would keep with Josh Wright. Of course, 14 goals for Joshie Wright for the season. Again, absolutely superb on Saturday afternoon. Was saying to Tom as I was sitting in front of him Friday afternoon, he covered a lot of ground. And I think I saw a statistic prior to the Bristol Rovers game that I think he was the third most midfielder that had covered yardage wise in League One. So that is a pretty good statistic, and it just goes to show that he can get back and forward and grab himself a goal as well as doing his defensive duties. Alongside him then, I would go for Mark Byrne. I thought he was unfortunate to come off on Friday afternoon. I think a lot of the attack started from him. He won a lot of headers, being a short guy, won a lot of tackles. And I've been really impressed with Mark Byrne since Pennock has come in. He seems to have really stepped up his game and been that real man to start the Gillingham attack. So yeah, definitely Mark Byrne in there. Also, although I was impressed with Ossa Davey when he did come on, I think Wright and Byrne are probably the ones to go with. Just in front of them then is the main man, Bradley Dack, back involved in a Gillingham shirt. Of course, you've got to have this man in, the go-to guy in Gillingham's side this season. Of course, he's had games where he's been off it. Frustration got the better of him. But I thought Friday, he was the man that we were missing a spark off. And thankfully, Cody took it upon himself to go and win us the match. But definitely, if you've got Bradley Dack available to you, he's definitely got to get in that Gillingham side. Out on the left then, I would go for Lee Martin. I know he's certainly been a critic of mine since he's come in, or off injury, not offered enough. I thought second half he was a bit better, took on his fullback a lot more, delivered better balls as well in that second half. And I'll definitely go with Lee Martin on this left-hand side. And then up front then, of course, the main man, Cody McDonald. Well, he's got to start, certainly after Friday afternoon. Was absolutely superb in everything he did. First half he was a little bit quiet, but he come into his own, took it upon himself. And that's, like I said on FanCam, that's where real leaders show their worth in situations like this. And that's what he did on Friday. Bit surprising to Gills fans that I've gone for this. But I have gone with Rory Donnelly. I thought actually on Friday when he did come on, he run the channels really well for us. Won a few free kicks in dangerous positions. And let Cody catch his breath back so he can make those two late bursts for the goals. And to be honest, looking at the options we've got, I won't go with Quigley. Quigley was really disappointing Friday, and I actually thought Donnelly did more in 20 minutes than Quigley did for 70. So yeah, I will go with Rory Donnelly. A lot of people, that's probably really controversial, but options wise, I don't think we've got a lot more. So that's the side that I think we should go with at Charlton Athletic tomorrow afternoon. So now I'm going to answer your Twitter questions that you've sent in for us to answer. Thank you very much for sending them in. So I'm just going to answer these now. So Jake Flamino asked, how many more points do you think we need to stay up for the remainder of the season? Jake, I think we need 3 more. I think 3 more will do it. I think that will take us to 52. And I honestly can't see us getting relegated from that point on. And would be very harsh if we end up getting relegated on 52 points. I also noticed that if Swindon lose on tomorrow and then we win, we can't actually finish 22nd. So Port Vale would have to do a remarkable job to come and catch us for the remainder of the season. Yes, 3 more points, Jake. I think will secure Gillingham safety in League One for next season. Ali Gills asked, who should partner Cody up top tomorrow, and should Raymond come back in? I've seen a lot about Raymond. I think I saw it somewhere that Raymond's out for the whole Easter weekend. I don't think Raymond is fit enough for Charlton tomorrow either. I might be wrong. I don't know. You could correct me. Who should partner Cody up top tomorrow? Like you've just seen the predicted 11. I think it should be Rory Donnelly. I know it's a controversial choice, but I think he just offers more than Joe Quigley at this moment in time. Yes, he hasn't got a great goal scoring record, but what it does give you, it gives you energy, and will do a lot of the running, and will save Cody doing it all, and also and that means keeping Cody fresh for when a chance comes his way, and like you see on Friday where Donnelly did a lot of the running in the last 20 minutes, it gave Cody that real good breathing space for him to go and give that 2 bursts of energy to go and win us the football match. So yeah, I will go with Rory Donnelly. Next question then, Elliot Gooder asked, who do you want to be manager next season? Elliot, as much as we're probably looking like we're going to stay up, I wouldn't give it to Adi Pennock. As much as he's passionate and he cares about the football club and he's a nice guy, unfortunately, sometimes and most of the time, being nice in football doesn't always get you what you need and what you want. So my manager would probably be Kenny Jackett, knows the league well, done really well in the league. Obviously, he got Millwall into the playoffs as well. He's an experienced manager, kind of knows how his teams, how to win football matches and are really hard to beat as well. And that's one thing Gillingham haven't been this season. So yeah, I mean, my man would be Kenny Jackett. So then Owen Stanley asked, is now as good a time as any to play Charlton with their season more or less over? Yes, Owen, I think it's a perfect time to play Charlton. I think that, as you quite rightly said, Charlton its season is more than less over. I think they're probably still going to come at us due to the rivalry and won't want to see Gillingham beat Charlton on their own patch. But it is more, Gillingham have got absolutely no excuses tomorrow afternoon. Like I said, with 2,500 fans going up there, we're taking half our home gate. And if the players can't go and perform in front of that atmosphere, then they really don't deserve to be out there. They showed on Saturday, like Reece said quite rightly, the performance wasn't great, but they got the win. And wins at this stage of the season are what we need. And there's absolutely no excuse to go and win tomorrow. But yes, Owen, it's as good a time as any to go and play Charlton. Ben Thompson asked, as Bradley Dack is not suspended, would you start him tomorrow at Charlton or would you put him on the bench? Tomo, I would start Bradley Dack. I know you quite rightly said, mate, later on in on the tweets that you should never change your one inside. You're quite right there, but when you've got your best players available to you and what Bradley Dack has offered in games this season and of course last season, you can't leave that calibre of player on the bench. And certainly when we need to go and win tomorrow, we need Bradley Dack in that Gillingham side. Jim asked, do you believe Friday's result is a turning point? Yes, I do, Jim. You saw the confidence that the players breathed after that win. You saw the sense of almost relief, passion at the end of that game. And it was a real turning point. Like we've said on previous podcasts, on previous videos, that we were destined for the drop, and we all thought that. And Friday, looking at the table, it looked so much more healthier. And you really come away thinking, you know what, I think we're going to do it. I think we're going to stay up. So yes, Jim, I think it was a real turning point, and I'm glad we did it. Owen Stanley then asked again, should Emmanuel Sadabi hand his start tomorrow? Personally feel we need more energy in midfield for an away game. Heston Burn too, similar. Sadabi, from coming on, probably does deserve the chance. However, I don't think he will probably move Mark Burn or Josh Wright out of the midfield. I think they're two of our best midfielders that we've got at the football club. That third midfielder, if he probably does go with the three at the back, which likely Pennant will, that third midfielder will probably be Bradley Dack. And to be honest, I think we'll all go with Bradley Dack over Emmanuel Sadabi. Sadabi's unfortunate not to get in the team, because I thought he was actually quite good when he come on. Drove us forward for the last 20 minutes. But I think the three midfielders that should start tomorrow should be Josh Wright, Mark Burn and Bradley Dack. Yep, and I think that's the last of our Twitter questions. That looks like it. Thanks, guys, for watching. We're now on 253 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic support since we started this blog. As you can see on our Twitter, if you head over to our Twitter at the Gills blog, we've got a giveaway for reaching 250 subscribers, and match one shirt by Danny Kebwell. So if you head over there, retweet it and follow us if you're not. Drop a like on this, subscribe if you haven't. Keep following the Last Walks blog, and hopefully we can pick up 3 points at the Valley tomorrow afternoon. Up the Gills.